And we talk about not self-snitching or not snitching. You know, you don't want to snitch. But when it comes to children, snitch all the fuck you want. When you have a child, you know, you can drink, you can do whatever, you know, your normal things. Shouldn't be doing drugs. But you can't let it interfere with your parenting. You can't let it interfere with the safety and security of your child. Could you imagine burying your own kid because you want to hide him? You want to hide your misdeeds? I just can't imagine anything. Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, your board-certified criminal defense lawyer, coming to you with my pearl-handle pistol cufflinks, so graciously gifted to me by our content genius, who's right by my side and behind the camera as we speak. Today we're reacting to When Evil Parents Realize They're Caught. And this is by Detective Williams, another YouTube channel. I suggest you go check his channel out as well. When you're a defense lawyer, you know, there's certain cases that you like. You know, I always say there's nothing like a good homicide between friends. You know, love a good homicide. Love a good homicide. Why is that? Well, do I like that somebody died? Not necessarily, but people are going to die, and people are going to die at other people's hands. So they're novels. You know, you open the book and they're challenging. Child abuse is not challenging. Child abuse is just fucking sad. It's absolutely terrible. I do not like having these kinds of cases. So I'm not real sympathetic to these kinds of defendants. But before we get to that, before we get to the video, this is brought, and I haven't seen this, by the way. This is a cold reaction, is what it is. But this is brought to you by who? Take a guess. eSign.com. eSign.com, a very effective way to remotely do business. Let's say your husband suspects you of child abuse and he catches you on nanny cam and reports you to the cop. Now you're sitting in jail. Guess what? You need a lawyer who has downloaded the app, and he gets 3 free signatures a month. And all of a sudden you can have somebody who's related to you sign a retainer agreement because you can't, because you're behind bars. eSign.com, very effective way to remotely do business. I use it all the time in my practice for a variety of documents. You can use it in just about any context. Power of attorney, sales agreement, business agreement. If time is of the essence, eSign is a great solution. So eSign.com. If it's not eSign, then no one signs, right? Okay. So let's get into this video, because I haven't seen this, and I can tell you this. I was hit as a kid. I never hit my kids. There's no good reason to hit a kid. All it does is make them resent you later on.
Every child deserves a parent, but not every parent deserves a child.
Please, can I go and see him? Please, can I go and see him? Please, can I go and see him?
Hey, laugh.
May I go and see them?
Sit in the back. Get in there.
I remember one time I was at the mall, and I saw this mother hitting a child. And I was like, I stepped in, and it's really uncomfortable to do that, because when you see the abuse happening in front of you, it is, you know, your natural inclination is not to interfere. But I stepped in, and boy, the kid was he was more afraid of me calling the cops on his mom than getting hit by his mother.
Please, why? What do you mean, why? Get in the back of the car. Slide in the car now.
Here are 6 cases when evil parents realized they've been caught. Starting with this case, where an officer from the Volusia County Sheriff's Office responded to a call concerning a child out on the driveway who looked neglected.
You know, we've done other cases about child abuse, and when you see somebody, you know what, when it comes to children, and this is what makes defending these kinds of cases really hard, because what does a jury want to do? A jury wants to protect a child, right? That's their natural inclination. And when you're mistreating a child who's put their love and trust into you, you're not a sympathetic person.
Okay. Did we find? No.
I just pulled up.
First of all, my kids have never run around in the yard in their diaper. If they're outside, they've got shoes and socks on, they've got clothes on, you know, I mean, fuck it, eh?
They were walking in the road?
Yes, he actually.
Oh, I know where he is. I think I'm pretty sure I know which one. He's from that one right there.
Oh, good.
I'm pretty sure.
I hope so.
Hey, buddy.
I don't know.
You want to come to me, or are you good there with her?
Oh, look at you.
All right, let's go. Hang tight. Can you pull over here for me 1 second?
And kids cannot advocate for themselves. So it takes somebody to be honest with you, the penalties for child abuse aren't severe.
I think I remember this guy.
Poor little man.
Does he say anything to you?
No, he didn't say anything. He's not afraid though, for sure.
He didn't say nothing though?
No.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. Come here, buddy.
But he almost ran out in front of my truck when I was trying to hear he's running in front of their.
So let's say the kid ran out in front of the car and was killed. That negligence on the part of the parent could be manslaughter.
Gotcha. Jesus Christmas. Give me one. Just hang tight for me 1 second and I'll get all your information.
2 concerned women had pulled over and dialed 911, fearing for the child's safety. But this isn't the first time the officer has dealt with the same child, as he knew exactly who the parents were.
Is this where you came from?
Yeah.
Hello! See my blue lights, buddy? Look at that. We're gonna sit in that car actually. Can you hang tight with him while I pull my car over here and
So this can take a lot of forms. One of the most common forms of neglect is when mom or dad pull up to a store and it's hot out and the kid's sitting in the back seat.
you can sit in the back of my car for a second? Absolutely is.
Come here. Hey,
Thank you.
oh, you poor little diaper.
Absolutely. Let me pull my car in here.
If you're too lazy to clothe your fucking kid, you shouldn't have kids.
I had to pull over. I had to.
No, absolutely. Where was he walking? He was just walking right here?
Yeah, get ready to walk into the intersection. And I'm just coming from New Smyrna for my doctor's appointment.
Okay.
It's freaking me out.
Would you mind giving me a written statement about what exactly what happened? Okay, give me
I
1
definitely
second.
will.
And I know you're working, so I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible for you.
Thank you.
You know, I don't want to say it's that trailer right there,
Right.
but I was out here for a similar incident, and it was that trailer right there. So I'm gonna try to find the mom again.
Same child?
They were younger. They were younger, obviously, at the time, but that's why I'm kind of remembering him. You're a godsend today.
Yes.
Go ahead. You want to sit in the back of my car real quick? In the blue lights on? We'll put the blue lights on, all right?
Poor baby.
Woo! Look at you, man.
I know, it's so cool.
Right? Look at you, all right?
Look at you, you're in a diaper, you're arrested.
All right? You want to sit in your car?
Okay,
Go ahead,
yeah,
we're
that'd
attaching
be
cold, and
great.
I'll hang out here with him.
Thank
What's up, little man? You like it in here? Woo! Boom, push it. Look at that.
After receiving no response from the parents, the officer decides to take the witness statements and wait for the parents. The officer's behavior with the child should be applauded, as it helped with keeping the child calm. Not long after, the parents come out and are confronted by the officer.
You recognize me?
No.
You don't recognize me? I was here last time when this happened.
So the other thing that happens when this kind of thing happens is child protection gets involved. And when child protection gets involved, the courts are involved. And when the courts are involved, your rights as a parent are involved. And if your rights as a parent are involved, guess what? You've given the government the opportunity to interfere with your most basic rights of being a parent to your child.
That? Yeah. And your son today was in the street walking out on US 1, and luckily some nice ladies saw him and stopped before he got smushed by a freaking car. You know, what were you guys doing in there?
We were just sleeping.
Just sleeping?
Yeah.
Can we get him a new diaper on?
Sleeping in the middle of the fucking day. Sleeping it off, probably. That's what it looks like to me. And you know, when you have a child, you know, you can drink, you can do whatever, you know, your normal things. Shouldn't be doing drugs, but you can't let it interfere with your parenting. You can't let it interfere with the safety and security of your child. If your drinking and your drug use gets in the way of the safety of your child, that's a problem.
Can we get him a new diaper on? His diaper is really soiled. You don't even want to, like, I mean, you can look at it, obviously, but it's disgusting. Like, I didn't even want to walk in there, but I wanted to make sure there wasn't another kid in there.
Is this the same kid or a different one?
No, it's the same kid. It's the same kid that called us last time. He's got a younger sister, I think. She's with the grandparents. So we're going to need to call DCF.
Yeah.
or the grandparents.
Shockingly, the mother had no reaction upon knowing that her son was on the verge of being run over, showing the type of people they are. Fortunately for the little boy, the officer...
Well, she's probably fucked up on drugs. I mean, anybody would be mortified. The fact that she's not tells me her emotional state is blunted by something.
then informs the parents that they are going to be arrested for child neglect.
Step out of the car for me. Come here. Come on. Step out of the car. Put your hands behind your back. I've had enough of this with both of you.
What, so you're arrested?
You both are getting arrested, so get your kid dressed.
For what?
Child neglect.
Why?
Come on. What do you mean, why? Have a seat in the back of my car.
No,
I've had enough
please.
of you guys. Sit in the back. Get in there.
Please, why?
And this is terrifying to a child, to watch his parents get taken into custody. You know, because even if you're abused, they're still your parents. You still love them. And you still look at them, you know, for food, safety, and security. And even if you're not getting security, you're still comforted by their presence as screwed up as that might be.
What do you mean, why? Sit in the back of the car. Slide in the car now.
Sure.
Poor parenting. Add that one to the list. Turn around. Come here. You're next.
For what? What?
Look at me, he looks fucked up. I mean, middle of the day, oh, we were sleeping, man, you know? You're sleeping so much that you can't parent your own child, and you let him go in the middle of the fucking highway?
Why am I getting arrested?
Child neglect. Put your hands behind your back.
What did I do, though?
What did you do? It's what about you didn't do. You didn't watch your kid. Your kid's out on the road. This is a history with you two. I mean, this is just a circus. All I want was the kid to get some clothes and get changed.
What do
You
think
guys
I
couldn't
was
even do
doing?
that.
What do you think I was doing?
Around. That's what you were doing.
I was putting clothes on.
See, listen to him. He sounds messed up. And so, and you heard officer talk about calling DCF, Department of Children and Family Services, and that's when they come out and do their investigation. And one of the first things I would do if I were them is make them take a drug test.
This is not fair at all.
It's not fair. Yeah, it's not fair to your son. That's what it's not fair to. Have a seat. They're letting him eat old McDonald's that's like 10 years old. They can't get him clothes. But he's walking around with his glass everywhere. You know, this is just...
God, this is just so fucking frustrating to actually watch. You know, being a parent, and I'm talking to all you parents out there, whether you're a good parent or a bad parent, being a parent is a privilege. Having children are a blessing in your life. And so you have been entrusted with the safety, security, and the welfare of your child. And guess what? That's not a burden. That's not a burden. It's a labor of love. You know, when you have a child, you watch them develop, and each stage gets better than the one before. You know, when they're a baby and they don't. I think women can see their personality better than men can. You know, at least initially, but as they grow and develop into who they are, it just gets better and better and better. And if you cultivate that relationship, none of this shit should happen. But, you know, when you have babies happen to you, instead of you making the babies happen, you don't see it quite the same way. You don't look at them as a blessing. You look at them as a burden. And if you're doing drugs and your kids are in the way of you doing drugs, well, then you take shortcuts and you do shit like this. Now, I don't know if these people are on drugs or not, but it sure as hell looks like it.
Ridiculous. My patience is done with these two.
Not having shown any type of remorse for the situation in which their son was, but doing it when they realize they are being arrested, is disgusting. The couple's son was placed in the custody of the State Department of Children and Families, and the later identified parents, 28-year-old Yajira Tirado and 25-year-old Jacob Kruger, were booked into the Volusia County Branch Jail on a $5,000 bond. But if you thought those were disgusting parents, wait until you hear about 19-year-old Alexi Treviso.
If you thought they were disgusting, wait till you see this broad. You know, 19-year-olds should not be parents. You know, I'm just going to... And I'll tell you why. For you to be an effective parent, and I know there's plenty of parents that start out young. My paralegal, you know, had a child when she was 18 and has been parented that child and her other two children like nobody's business, and she's fantastic. But let me tell you what it does do. When you are 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, those are your young years where you go out, party with your friends, and you develop as a human being, you know. And if you're spending all that time where you are kind of figuring out who you are, where you're just sucked into parenthood, unwittingly or just kind of by accident or without the care, you're not actualizing yourself as a human being. And listen to me, I'm a criminal defense lawyer. What the fuck am I talking about? But I as a dad, that's kind of what I see. And then a lot of times these young parents are the ones who make the bad mistakes.
I'll tell you this, I've never, ever seen a reaction like that girl. I don't even know what to say about it. There was zero emotion.
On January 27, 2023, Alexi Trevizo was admitted to Artesia General Hospital in New Mexico for extreme back pain. The only thing, however, is that this wasn't just normal back pain. She was having labor pain, and instead of letting the doctors know, she decided to do the unthinkable. What followed was an incident that would forever traumatize the medical staff involved in the case.
So here's the other thing about being too young. When you're too young, like this girl, you don't have the maturity. And so she probably never told anybody that she was pregnant. She probably never told her parents and probably was afraid to tell anybody. And, you need to have an open dialogue with your children so that this kind of stuff does not happen. But let's continue.
We're working her up. We did a pregnancy test on her, showed positive. She was a 9 that she had sex. Then she said she had to go to the bathroom. She went to the bathroom. She was in there for quite a while. We kept knocking on the door. Finally, we got her to open the door, and there was blood everywhere. She was cleaning it up. So we took her back to the room, and I was afraid that she knew she was pregnant. She had done something to herself. So the doctor started doing an exam on her. We had the lady come to clean the bathroom. She put the baby in the trash can, and then she put another clean liner over the top of it.
Oh, wow.
So, what is that? That's second-degree intentional murder. If that baby was now let's say the baby wasn't alive. If the baby was stillborn, then it wouldn't be. Then there would be another crime altogether, like destruction of a corpse or something like that. But if she's intentionally throwing that baby in the fucking garbage, that is second-degree intentional murder with aggravating circumstances. So when you think about what she's doing here, Michael just brought up the issue about viability, which is brought up in Casey versus Pennsylvania and Roe versus Wade, which has now been overturned. So really controls are the state statutes here, and you're going to have a forensic analysis of this child. And let's say the child lives. Let's say they're able to resuscitate the child, and God willing that the child is okay. Well, then it's attempted murder. I mean, so either way, she's looking at a boatload of time.
So when they looked in there, there was no trash in there, but it was underneath the clean bag. The baby's dead. Okay, we have him in trauma too, but she killed the kid.
Yeah. How old was the baby?
I don't know. It's full term. She just had it. She had it in the bathroom. Was what happened, and then whatever she did, I don't know. She's gonna lie. She wouldn't tell us she's.
Also, it could be first-degree premeditated murder. Premeditated murder can be, the premeditation can be discovered in a matter of moments, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be, I planned it last Thursday. It can be moments before. And let me tell you something about putting that fucking liner over the baby. That can be evidence of premeditation.
Tell her she's pregnant. She's been lying the whole time.
Alexi had been in the bathroom for quite some time until nurses realized something was wrong. Initially thinking that Alexi had hurt herself, they never imagined finding a deceased newborn in the trash can of the bathroom.
We discovered a dead baby in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. It came out of me and I didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this. I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
It was not crying or nothing.
What did you do to it?
Okay, stop right here.
I
Stop. Number one priority, guys. Number one priority. She just had a baby. I don't know if she's delivered the placenta. She's bleeding significantly.
Yeah.
I've spoken to the obstetrician at Loveless. They want her up there as soon as possible.
Okay.
Obviously need your permission to transfer her from medicals to. She needs to
She's
be
19.
Oh, you're right.
But she is a student too.
She's still 19 years
you're
old.
right. You're right. She needs to. I'm sorry, I forgot she's 19.
Keep out of me.
But you need to make sure that you're safe. I need to send you to Loveless to labor and delivery. Will you please agree to that?
Yes.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable that somebody would have such lack of intellect to do something like this.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm going to work on that. In terms, I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
I know. But the baby's going to have to be taken for autopsy and there'll be an investigator and everything. I'm really sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
So one of the things that the autopsy will show is, was there any oxygen in the baby's lungs? And they can tell that two ways. They can look at the lungs themselves, and they can also look at the blood gas. If it turns out that it was a stillborn, that's one thing. If it turns out that it was, alive, that's a completely different kettle of fish.
I'm so sorry, but we need to do this correctly.
The newborn had been found covered with linen at the bottom of the trash can, which shows that Alexi had tried to hide her crime but failed. Not only that, but she refers to her baby as nothing when saying nothing was crying, which again shows the type of person she actually is.
Where did you put the baby at? Tell me the truth. Got in there.
517.
That came out of your toy bag. You put it in the bag?
Yes.
In what bag? Why did you say anything to us? Do you want to get in trouble for this now?
Imagine if that was your kid having that baby. I mean, you'd be just scratching your fucking head. What the hell did you do? Unbelievable.
You could get in trouble for this.
The mother's reaction and attitude to the news are totally not what one would expect in a situation like this. More sad is to see one of the nurses showing more compassion and grief for the baby than his real family.
And all I saw was like blood everywhere, like on the walls, on the toilet. It just looked like a horror film. The umbilical cord looked like an animal had tore it apart. Like, how have you ever eaten string cheese?
Mm-hmm.
And when you twist it, that's how the bottom of the umbilical cord looked. And I just remember it caught my eye, and I was like, God. I was like, this chick really ripped this thing apart. When there's like one or two things in the wastebasket, I usually pick it up and take it out, but I didn't that night. And then, I've been kicking myself on this because I feel like, if I would have just taken it out, I would have seen it.
Well, no one prepares for that type of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, who the fuck would even imagine that anybody would do something like this? Nobody would.
Most people don't act like that, so don't blame yourself for it.
Yeah.
Because it's not a natural thing to do. Well,
it's just hard because I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, and I've dealt with death before, but never like this.
Right.
It was horrible.
Alexi Treviso was finally detained and later arrested on charges of first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. She faces life in prison if convicted.
I'll bring her out. Just tell me what's going on.
For her arrest.
Okay.
I will give it to her whenever.
Can I see her?
She can see the warrant when she gets arrested.
This is my house. I have a right to see the warrant.
I'm letting you know she has a warrant for her arrest. We don't have a search warrant for your house. We have a warrant for her arrest.
Okay, can we see the warrant?
Yeah, once we
She gets a copy of it.
Can I go
And mom shouldn't really be standing in the way of this.
there when you take her up there?
You can go to the detention. Do you know where it is?
Everything?
It's
Okay,
nowhere.
so what is she under arrest for?
She's over 18. Just gotta talk to her.
I understand that,
Right.
Detective Gonzalez.
Right.
What is she under arrest for?
She has a warrant for arrest. Okay?
For what?
That's all I'm gonna tell you. Okay?
What do you mean that's all you're going to tell me?
she's over.
The reaction of the mother just kills me, because if the cops come to my door and they say a warrant for their arrest of one of my kids, first of all, she knows full well what the fuck is going on. She should have already hired a lawyer, to be honest with you. But her reaction is more denial and combative with the cops, and it doesn't need to be. In fact, she doesn't have the moral high ground here.
I understand that, but I have a right to know as well.
And we'll tell you that, but we
Okay, then let me know now.
need the cooperation.
Let me know now. I'm giving you the cooperation. I told you answer my question. What is she under arrest for?
Like I said, she's over the age of 18.
To make matters worse, not long after this incident, Alexi was seen enjoying her school prom, and her mother is suing the hospital, blaming them for the whole ordeal. But if you thought parents...
Who the fuck would take that case? What lawyer would take that case? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Suing the hospital. Yeah, it's the hospital's fault that I fucked up my daughter.
Couldn't get any worse. On April 22nd, 2021, police arrived at a home to discover the cries of children screaming for their mother. Neighbors concerned about the kids' well-being were quick to dial 911.
First of all, hearing the sound of a crying child or a child in distress is, I think, one of the worst sounds I can hear. I mean, you ever been on an airplane and you got a crying little baby behind you? It's not like you want them to turn that up.
Is that someone passed out on the ground right there? Are they both your children? Yeah.
The officers that arrived then found the children locked in a room in deplorable conditions. The mother, once confronted, even dares to put their cries off as them playing.
Hello.
Oh yeah, they're playing. They bleed all the time. And they cry when they bleed, but they're playing.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
Yeah, are you the mother of these children here?
Yeah, what's up?
They've been screaming and crying?
Yeah, they're playing. They have the windows open. That's what they do.
They're not playing, ma'am.
Right, well, he looks like he needs some juice or something. He's showing me his cup.
Yeah, I was just about to go get them.
Okay.
You know, caught in a deer, like a deer in the headlights, that's a pretty vulnerable position to be in, you know, meaning the mother. You know, and exposing what you've probably been doing for a long time. Abuse doesn't happen overnight. It happens over extended periods of time. And abuse never happens with one incident. And the other thing about abusers, whether it's spousal abuse or child abuse, they never take responsibility. They are all, and it's always, you know, there's always some bullshit excuse.
Well, we're getting complaints that they feel like there's children in distress over there.
No shit, we can hear them.
Yeah, they're very loud and they scream a lot.
Yeah, it's called a kid.
They scream a lot. You know, like when I throw them down a flight of stairs or I burn them with my cigarettes, they scream a lot. You know, you're just going to have to deal with it.
They scream a lot and they're very,
How old are they?
almost 2 and 3. They're very...
First of all, 2 and 3 year olds are full of energy. And you know what? They're so fucking fun. They're so easy to make laugh. They believe everything you say. You know, oh, there is a Santa Claus. What? There's a Santa Claus? You know, fuck. You know, and I remember when Michael was little, I used to roll him up in a blanket, and then I would take the blanket and go like this, and he'd spin out, and you know, on the bed, of course, and he would laugh his ass off. Do it again. You know, I could have the worst day in the world, and I come home, and my little guy's there, or you know, my daughter when she was little, and my God, you'd play with them, and all your cares kind of go away. You know, you get them some dinner and you read them a book. I used to have this book of poems that I would read to them. And it's just all of a sudden you're in your world that you're working for. You know, you have your work world, but what are you working for? You're working for these guys. And to have that privilege be squandered by somebody who refuses to care for their children in a manner in which exudes love and kindness drives me batty.
Is anybody supervising them?
Yeah, I was just in there. Like, I was just in there getting them stopped.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my other daughter in the
So there's like 10,000 choking hazards in there that they're locked in that room and nobody's in there supervising them? As they're screaming for the whole neighborhood to call us?
Is that bright in your eyes?
And this apparently has not been the first time from all your neighbors calling in, saying that they hear this multiple times throughout the week. Do you have an ID with you?
The officers, besides the disgusting look of the house, notice cockroaches on the walls. And to make matters worse,
Here's the other thing. You know, if you're poor, doesn't mean you have to live in a shithole. I mean, poverty can wreak havoc on day-to-day comforts, right? But it doesn't mean that you have to live in a shithole. It doesn't mean that your place has to be, messy or dirty. And you owe it to your children and to your family to keep a decent house, to have the conditions in a way that promotes health. Fuck.
matters worse, she even declares that the house is a safe environment for her children.
When was the last time you even changed their diapers?
Whoa, we're supposed to change their diapers? Oh, fuck, no one told me that.
As it's sagging there, probably full.
They had a ton of juice, and it was probably an hour and a half ago that I changed their diapers.
Does this seem to be a safe environment for your children?
Yeah, it's completely safe. It's just, they're very, very loud and vocal. And since both of the windows...
Generally, when people are hungry, or they're got diaper rash, or they're being beaten, or they're being neglected, yeah, they get a little loud.
...are opened.
This is a safe environment, huh?
We're still cleaning it out. Their uncles and aunt just left, and they trashed the place. So...
I'm not enthused so far, to be honest with you.
Neither am I.
You notice the cockroaches on the walls?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see the...
So the screen was in there.
Yeah, the screen was in, but you see how they had the holes and so forth. They're pushing their fingers through, and I mean, I feel like you could easily push that out if you actually tried.
Okay.
It took her several minutes. It seemed a good amount of time to answer the door. When she answered the door, she was like groggy and tired.
Was the baby with her when she answered the door?
No.
Yeah, so she wasn't.
The infant was asleep in the bed. She seemed tired, groggy, kind of out of it, like she just awoken. And they were banging on the door that was locked from the outside.
So, what it kind of looks like is mom goes to sleep and locks the kids in a room.
With an empty juice cup. Mommy.
With
It's
an
just
empty
scream. Juice cup.
Juice cup?
Juice.
Oh, juice cup. I was like, what's a juice cup? Okay.
And screaming, mommy, juice, and just loud screeching.
The mother, who previously had no reaction to being told about her children's cries, now is seen breaking down as she's arrested for child neglect.
You want to explain or?
Sure. So based on our findings tonight, okay, we do have probable cause to make the arrest on both of you. Okay? It's just not fair to what's happening with these kids. All right, so both of y'all are going to be going to jail tonight for child neglect. Okay, DCF has obviously custody of the kids, and they're going to be staying with your.
And that's the thing. Then somebody else takes custody of your children. And then what? You got to prove to some people that you've got a fit environment to get them back. How demoralizing. I mean, although when you're doing this shit, you're already demoralized. You don't give a shit. I mean, until you get fucking busted. Come on.
Sister, cousin, is that what it is? Hopefully you guys are able to get out tomorrow. You can get back to your baby.
And what's your defense? What is your defense? Well, I changed their diaper an hour and a half ago, and they filled it again. I mean, come on. It's not reasonable. You don't have a defense. I mean, these cases are very, very difficult to defend.
Yeah, with what? We have no money. I have no family.
I understand, but...
Just because you don't have any money, you don't have any family, you know what happens? You get hopeless. And when you get hopeless, this is a cycle. And the first thing to go is to care for the children, because they're hungry, they're uncared for. There's all kinds of places that have help for mothers like this, or for fathers like that, for lack of a better word. But there's all kinds of WIC programs and food assistance programs and programs that help struggling parents in poverty. Poverty shouldn't be a reason you mistreat your child.
We have probable cause to make a
We don't tolerate this. All right, the conditions they're in is unsafe for them in general, completely unsatisfactory.
You're gonna probably want your wallet, your ID when you go. Alright, go put your hands behind back this. Put your palms together just like you're praying. Palms together. Palms together like you're praying.
Christina Coe and Gilbert Bridewell were finally arrested and transported to the Sheriff Perry Hall in...
You got two able adults. Two able adults. They can't pick the shit up in the fucking yard. You can't put your kid on your knee and get him a new diaper. And if you don't have a diaper, just wash him off and just, I guess, let him stay in the tub. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, two able adults should be able to treat a child with dignity.
Inmate detention facility. They were both charged with 3 counts of felony child neglect without great bodily harm. And because neighbors called the cops, these small babies were saved from terrible people like this. And another very similar situation happened too, but this time, kids were left in a hot car until an Uber driver realized it. On August 21st, 2021, Ohio police officers responded to a 911 call about kids being left out in a car for hours.
That can cause a child to die. When you get into a hot car, I don't know the exact stats, but the temperature inside a hot car. Have you ever been inside a hot car? Like on a 90-degree day, and all of a sudden you get in, it's like, holy shit, these seats are hot. And if your child dies as a result of that, that for sure is at least manslaughter, if not something more.
You pointed out to me that you seen the kids in the car left. I talked to the little girl. She said she don't know how long she been in here.
Okay.
One is like an infant, probably like 4 or 5. And I think the other one was like 3 or 4.
Okay.
I was just doing an Uber Eats here.
You're fine. Okay.
Drove by
and we talk about not self-snitching or not snitching. You don't want to snitch. But when it comes to children, snitch all the fuck you want. You need to save a life. And that is what these people who have intervened in all 3 of these stories, they've saved lives. That little child, going across the highway in his diaper, and then you've got these other kids that are having problems, and now you got a kid in a hot car, or more than one kid in a hot car.
Little girl was hanging out the window screaming.
What, the windows was rolled up though?
Like the 2 are like the 2 how they are were kind of like how they are, but the 2 back were this one was up. The little like 3-year-old here was hanging out the car screaming, screaming for her mom. So I stopped and I was like, "What's your mom's name?"
What's your name?
Steven.
There is no good reason to do that. We had a guy here who thought that the wife dropped the child off at daycare, and he went into work, but the child was still in the seat in the back, not realizing it, and the child died. Because it was left in a hot car. And I come down really hard on this because, you should never, ever be in a position where you don't know where your child is. You look back, you check, you double check, you check. It just gets to me. Doesn't it get to you? I mean, I can totally feel you.
You notify.
I do gig work for work.
Okay,
so
okay.
I was doing an Uber Eats here, and like I said, I drive by and the little girl was hanging out the window screaming for her mom. So I'm a parent, so I walked up to the car to make sure there was nobody in the car with them, and I asked her. I said, "What's your mom's name? I'll go get her." And then I saw the security guard and I asked him to come outside because this is a serious matter. And And I was like, you gotta call the police. This isn't okay.
Here we can see how, thanks to this guy, these kids were saved from a fatal fate. To the shock of everyone, we are later informed that the mother had been donating her plasma and had checked in at 7:30 in the morning, leaving her 2 children in the hot car for almost 4 hours until this point. It seems that because this happened in the morning, the kids were luckily able to resist for longer as it wasn't too hot.
So, donating plasma. You know why she's donating plasma? She's selling her blood. And that's poverty. Poverty does strange things to people. But just because you're suffering from poverty doesn't mean that it alleviates your obligation to your children.
So she's been checked in with us since 7:30 a.m.
7:30 a.m. Okay.
Oh my God, Lord Jesus.
It's getting really warm out here now.
It's really hot.
And
look, the baby's dressed in pants and long sleeves.
What's your name?
My name is Stacy. I'm the registered nurse here.
Alright, Stacy.
I mean, you wouldn't leave a dog in a hot car, at least without the window rolled down.
Alright, we're just getting them checked out.
Yeah.
I appreciate it a lot.
You're welcome.
Been here since 7:30. Been here since 7:30.
When confronted, the mother was seen unable to process what she had done wrong, clearly showing what a great parent she is. Like we've seen in the other cases, she breaks down crying after being told she is going to be charged for child neglect, but has no reaction to when the officers told her about how she had endangered her children.
The windows is rolled up.
Yes, ma'am.
And the kids are here alone.
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
Yes, ma'am.
We come here. However, people were here, bystanders, were able to, open the door, give the kids some water, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
However, this is serious, this is severity crime, okay? You can't just leave the kids in the car unattended. All right? The car was not on.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't leave it on.
Yeah, I mean, it's hot outside, you know what I mean?
Oh, so you mean to, okay.
Even if it was on, people can take your children.
Yeah.
They can take your car.
Yeah.
And it's like near 85 degrees outside. Inside that car heats up very fast.
Yeah.
And children at a young age are they're easily raise their temperature level.
All right, so I'm going to go talk to my sergeant here.
And this is scary because all of a sudden, you take the children away from the mother. They go to a shelter. Mom goes to jail.
See, we're going to go to the hospital, get the kids checked out. I'm going to notify Child Family Services. All right? And we'll go from there, okay? Okay.
Hold on, I gotta see.
Are you pregnant or postpartum?
No.
Go put your hands behind it. We're just detaining you right now, right?
I'm being detained?
Yes.
It means you're under arrest.
Put your hands together like you're praying. Like you're praying. There you go.
Nothing, my baby.
Yeah, stand by, alright?
The mother, who previously hadn't checked up on her kids, now demands to see her kids as she's being arrested.
Yeah, see my baby.
Hold on.
It's sort of like drinking and driving in a sense. The reason you drove to the bar, you had a bunch of drinks, you didn't plan for afterwards. She just didn't think. I'm just going to go in there, and she probably didn't think it was going to take as long as it did. But it kept going and kept going. She should have told somebody in the clinic, look, my kids are in the car, can we bring them in here? And they probably would have said, fine.
Yeah, Stacy Aldridge. 7:30, right? 7:43, okay.
I wanted to come in.
Please, can I go and see him? Please, can I go and see him? Please, can I go and see him?
Hey, laugh.
May I go and see them?
Yeah, they're going to the hospital, okay?
The woman, later identified as Tamisha Massey, was finally charged with endangering children. She was then entered into a drug court mandated program where she successfully completed it after a few months. And if you thought a mother leaving her kids in the hot car for hours was shocking, Then you haven't heard about the heartbreaking ordeal the kids in this case had to go through. Brittany Gosney and James Hamilton lived with...
Now, that's a handsome couple, don't you think? In fact, when I look for Poster Parent of the Year, these people sort of fit the bill.
Lived with their 3 children, aged 6, 7, and 9 years old. To say they were bad parents is an understatement, as the couple would do anything other than take care of their kids. Often served microwaved Hot Pockets for dinner, the kids would survive.
Hey, don't badmouth the Hot Pockets.
In the toxic household, where James would often lose his rage, and Brittany found ways to not look after her children. That is, until March 2021, when Brittany and James arrived at the police station to report their 6-year-old, James Jr., missing. After noticing unusual behavior from the parents, detectives placed the couple in separate rooms for questioning.
So why do they do that? Why do they put... You know why. They do that so that, you ask one parent one set thing, and then you ask the other one, and if you get the same story, then it's probably true. But if you get different stories, because nobody can ever get their story straight if they both lie.
Unfolded is absolutely disturbing.
Did you wake up the kids or Brittany to make sure they didn't know where little James was?
Well, it was around about 8:30 this morning. I woke back up with everybody, and we all went looking again, and we couldn't find him nowhere. We came here.
What's your gut feeling of what you think happened to little James?
I don't know. I'm hoping he's somewhere there in the neighborhood hiding.
Does he have any friends that he hangs out with?
None I'm aware of.
Does he have any of the parks that he likes to go to?
Any parks. I mean, he's ready to swing, anything will be on it.
One of the things that, it happens in family court a lot, and it happens, if what's your kid's favorite color? What size are your kid's shoes? What books does your kid like to read? Where does your kid go to school? Who's the doctor? That's how you can tell if a parent is active in their children's lives.
Okay. Well, like I said, I really appreciate you talking to me. And we're still trying to get to the bottom of all this. And obviously you and Brittany are our number one sources of information that's going to...
And suspects.
...help us right now. But we got to find him. I'm sure you want him found as bad as we do.
I'd like to go as soon as possible before I go back out looking for him.
Sure. Well, you hold tight right here, and if you need something knocking on the door, I'm going to go check and see what else they can come up with. Maybe I got good news.
James mentions that after a dinner of pizza rolls, they had put the children to bed. He then checked in on them at around 4 o'clock in the morning when he realized little James was missing. But is this the same story that Brittany would tell the detectives?
Did the 6-year-old get in trouble last night?
Yeah, he got in trouble for something. I don't remember what it was.
You don't remember what it was? Okay. What was the punishment last night? Corner.
I don't really like putting my hands on my kids.
That's okay. That's fine. Some people don't. You guys, what'd you have for dinner last night?
They had pizza rolls and chips.
No Hot Pocket?
The kids did? Okay. They're telling me that James had gotten in trouble for something and that he wasn't given pizza rolls, but he was given bread instead because that was his punishment. Do you remember that?
One of the things about talking to children is they'll give you candid responses, and they're unfiltered pretty much. Unless they've been told to lie by their parents, they pretty much will give you truthful responses. And they don't know what's going to get somebody in trouble and what's not.
No, we give them like lunch meat sandwiches at lunchtime.
And then all 3 of them you're saying got pizza rolls last night? Why would the kids tell me that?
I would never make them go without any meal.
I know that.
I'd rather go without before them.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just trying to figure out what they're talking about, what the kids are talking about. Basically, I'm waiting for my guy to come here. He's going to do the polygraph for me, and we'll just kind of go from there. I got guys.
Polygraphs are not admissible in court, by the way, and you don't have to do one. You don't even have to sit there and talk to the officer.
Guys out canvassing the neighborhood, So we're actively looking for James. Little James is what I call him now because we got Big James in there.
It's confusing, I understand.
So we're looking for James now. Don't think we're just sitting here talking to you. I got a bunch of people out doing that.
I was going to say, is anybody even out there looking for him?
Yes, 100%.
Because I'm sure brother and sisters worry about
Yes,
little
yeah.
brother.
Your daughter also said sometimes Big James doesn't get along with Little James. What would she mean by that?
I don't know.
Does Little James get any more or less trouble than the other two?
They all get
Right.
about the same.
They're all close to the same age. They all.
Sometimes parents or people in charge of children can take matters into their own hands and go too far. Sometimes they, you've heard about shaken baby syndrome, or you've heard about, somebody just going off on a kid and the kid dying. Get somebody else involved if that's you. If you have just lost your shit and you can't handle it, get somebody to step in for you and walk away in the moment because it's not worth it. They don't deserve it. I don't care what the fuck a little kid does. A little kid is never, ever, ever. You don't hit a kid. That's just my general rule. My dad used to beat the crap out of me, and it did nothing for me except for made me hide my shit better and resent him the rest of my natural life.
I know James does like being mean to them, so taking their toy away is...
Oh, Little James.
Yes, not that.
I got you.
How about I just say my son?
Yeah, that'll work. All right.
Brittany's reactions are really unusual for a mother who has just lost her kid. Instead of being hysterical over it, she is casually chatting and even laughs along with the detective. Detectives know they need a confession from either of them to find young James, but they have assumed the worst already, and so they decide to confront James with the information that Brittany has told them everything. This being a risky chance the detectives are willing to take.
And that is a risky tactic. It's a risky tactic because all of a sudden, if he says, "What the fuck are you talking about?" and then he shuts down and says, "I want a lawyer." At the same time, you look at her reaction, and my kid's missing. I lost Michael one time in a fucking department store for like 10 minutes, and I panicked, and I found him coming around the corner. And no, if your kid's missing, you're not making jokes with. You're palpably upset.
Like Casey
Anthony. Like Casey Anthony. Remember that one?
Willing to take.
Hey, James. Yes, sir. Talk to you out there at your house. Yes, sir. A few minutes. I just talked to my girlfriend there, and I'm terrible with names. What's her name? Brittany. All right. Now she's told me most of the truth. Okay. She's saying she don't remember where he's at, but she's told me about he's dead. Okay. And that you guys were together. Okay.
What do you want to know, sir?
I need to know where the body's at.
That I do not know. As for me being with her and the kids, no, sir, I was not.
Okay, and we can talk about that later.
Back home.
We can talk about if you were there or not later. Okay, she's saying all five of you were together, and this is what happened. Okay.
So you saw his reaction right when he said that his death. You didn't get an act of surprise, did you? It's like, what the fuck? He's dead? I mean, that's what you would say. It's like, okay, the jig is up. That's more of what you got.
Talk about if you were there or not later. Okay, she's saying all five of you were together, and this is what happened. Okay, and I'm not going to go into details what she told me there. Okay, so at this point,
well, what did she tell you that happened, sir?
Well, I know that he's dead, and I know that his body's somewhere, and I need to figure out. I'm wanting right now to recover his body is really important to me because it gives closure to both of you guys. Okay, that's the most important thing. We can go into detail later that when it's happened. Okay, because surely she's smart enough to tell you, even if you weren't with her, okay, you got to take some ownership of this, okay? Don't minimize anything.
The ownership I would take of is where I didn't call when she brought the body home, sir.
Okay.
The only thing ownership he's putting it on her. And when she brought the body home, I didn't make a call. It's a pretty effective technique that this cop used.
Where is the body then? When she brought the body home, what did she say she did with it?
She didn't tell me, sir. It happened up at Rush Run Park is where it happened at.
It happened
So now we've got a location of where he was killed, and then she brought the body home.
in Rush Run.
Yeah, she was supposed to take the kids up there, give them a scare tactic.
Right.
Drop them off for a few minutes, turn around, go get them, because they all was acting up real bad.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
James claims that Brittany had taken the kids to a remote area out of town as a sort of punishment to get them to behave, during which little James had tripped and fell. The impact had ended his life.
So let's just play this out. I think what he's saying is probably bullshit, but let's just play it out. So she takes the kids to a remote location to what? Pretend to abandon them? Is that what she's going to fucking do? I mean, come on. Kids, it is hard to parent kids. I mean, there's no question about it. There's difficult times and there's good times. But I don't think I would ever try to scare the shit out of my kid about being abandoned. You know, and then he falls and then he's dead. This just sounds like 100% bullshit to me. But what they did get out of him is what? That the child is dead and that he knows he's dead.
Brittany then brought the body back home to where James was waiting.
But now, so when she brought the body back to the house.
She brought the body back to the house.
And what's the conversation then?
Fuck. Honestly, what is the conversation? There shouldn't be a conversation. Now what they're going to do, now that the cat's out of the bag, they're going to go back to her and say, okay, now you tell us what really happened. He told us that you brought the body home.
Conversation.
I didn't freak out.
I was. I told her. I mean, she called me.
So.
And the problem he's got, so now he could never testify at his own trial. Because guess what? What did he do at the very beginning of this? He lied. He completely lied. And then they were able to, burst the bubble in his lie.
Did she leave? You're saying she brought the body back home, though?
Yes.
Okay, where was the body at when you saw it?
Upstairs in his bedroom.
In his bedroom. And when was all this? A couple days ago? Yesterday, today?
Friday night.
It was Friday night, so we're into Sunday now. We were Sunday morning. And how did you guys come up with the idea of, well, we got to have to report him missing at some point, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That was her idea, sir.
Okay. So she brings the body home.
Everything's her. Deflecting every ounce of responsibility. The only thing I didn't do is call you guys. That's the only thing I'm responsible for.
Is it in the bedroom? And then what happens? Even if you yourself went out totally by yourself and got rid of it, I just need to know where. You're
still helping your wife.
James thinks Brittany has confessed to everything, including that he had been there during the crime. As his next plan of action, he decides to separate himself from the situation. But what he doesn't know is that by continuing to talk to the detectives, he is only digging his own grave.
Okay, were you with?
He should be wearing one of these hats, honestly. He's self-snitching like nobody's business. But in this instance, it's good police work.
The body was dumped?
Yes.
Okay. If we went out driving, did you take it back up to Rush Run?
We wasn't up at Rush Run, man. I went.
Could you imagine burying your own fucking kid because you want to hide him? You want to hide your misdeeds? I just can't imagine anything. And believe me, Michael has pissed me off more than fucking once. But you know what? You love. You get through it with love. And look at us now. He's 26 years old. I've coached his little league teams. Helped him through college. Actually, he was way smarter than I was in college. But and we got this great thing going, and we have this incredible relationship. This is a proof positive. What a blessing a child can be, and I just can't imagine having the temerity, having the absolute lack of any kind of moral compass to kill and bury your own child to try to cover it up. I just can't even imagine.
Bridge, he's in the river.
Okay, what bridge? Middletown Bridge?
No. Cincinnati.
Down in Cincinnati?
Well, it's the bridge goes from Kentucky to Indiana.
Okay. How did you get? What time of day or night is this?
This was about 3 o'clock this morning.
This morning? Okay. What did you do with the other two kids? Go with you then?
No, they was at home and back asleep.
All right. So both of you guys get up. We got to do something. And then take him down to Cincinnati off 71. You're thinking
275. Yeah.
Okay. And just throw him. Did you go throw him off the bridge or did you
hold him off the bridge?
Was it like a stream or was it the actual river?
The actual river.
The Ohio River, the big one.
Yes.
Fine, but you're doing good. I know this is hard on you. All right. Look at me. I know this is hard on you.
Now I'm going to jail just for helping her.
Okay. We can figure all that out.
I'm going to jail for just helping her. He's not lamenting the death of this child at all. And I mean, whether he actually participated in the death or not, covering it up after the fact is aiding an offender after the fact. And so, and that's a big penalty as well. Usually it's about half the guidelines of the underlying sentence.
Okay, listen, this ain't fair to me.
It ain't fair to the little boy either. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I told her that. I mean, when she called me and told me she was at the wrong place, I told her, turn around, come home. Turn around, come home.
At the wrong place. You mean a rush?
At Rush Run.
Okay. What was her plan then? Because he didn't accidentally get fall.
I don't know, sir. I mean, the story she told me when she came home, 1 minute it was he had the handle door, and she took off, and he fell.
On the car? On the van?
On my van.
Okay.
Then the next minute it was that he was chasing after her, tripped and fell.
So she told you a couple different stories?
Yes.
James claims to not know the actual truth, as Brittany had told him multiple stories of what had actually happened. Detectives then decide to confront Brittany with everything James had told them, as they know they do not have the full story yet. What follows is incredibly shocking.
We're just trying to figure out, just hold on, exactly what you were thinking. Why? Because from what you've said, and please correct me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
James told you, I want the kids gone, I don't want to see them no more.
Yes.
When you loaded up in the car with the kids,
Mm-hmm.
you left Crawford Street with all 3 kids.
Yes.
James was in that house.
Yes.
He wanted you to take them somewhere and never bring them back.
Yes.
Okay. So you're confused. You care about James.
And I also
you care about James, right?
Yes.
So you take off driving. So you get to Rush Run, and did you tell them, hey, hop out and pee, or did they?
Well, they said at first they said I have to pee. I said, okay, well, go ahead and go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you got out and you went in through the side door.
The side back door, yes.
Right, and you lifted him out.
Yes.
Set him on the ground.
Yes. I didn't throw him or anything. I just
okay,
set him out.
sure. Nobody's saying you did. So once he's on the ground, what happens then?
I went to go pull off.
Where was?
I went to pull off. You're going to leave your kids there at the side of the fucking road. You know, there have been all kinds of cases like this where a woman is with a man that doesn't want the kids and she gets rid of kids. You know, you could have just dropped them off at Child and Family Services and say, I don't want to deal with the children anymore. You didn't have to kill your son.
Where was James whenever you backed up and pulled out? Little James.
Well, I wasn't all the way into the parking spot. I was just like halfway there, not all the way there. When I went to go pull away, I'm guessing he had the handle.
Right.
And then I went to go drive off, and he, of course, had a handle. When I looked, he didn't have it. And so I heard kids screaming. I don't remember. I thought it was for sure Rachel, but they both. I don't know.
Why were they screaming? Because you were leaving?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they knew I.
How fucking cold is that? You know, and in this type of behavior, if there's anything you can do to aggravate a sentence for somebody like this, I mean, what mother would leave their children Facts that shock the conscience like this are what judges use to just fucking hammer people at sentencing.
I wasn't never just
Sure.
so they were standing by the bathroom stall, whatever it is, and James was kind of standing close to them, but not that close. And as I showed you on the paper, I just went around him and didn't realize he had the handle.
Did you see him grabbing a handle?
No.
She ran him over. She fucking ran him over.
Okay, you're just.
But when I kind of like, I'm assuming he grabbed the handle because I kind of pulled him a little bit, not much, and he got up and then fell back down. I guess I kind of probably made him hurt his knee on the ground or something, and he lost his balance, and he tried to catch his balance. He didn't get to, and he fell and busted his head on the ground.
Without even a hint of remorse, Brittany has carefully narrated the incident, claiming it to be an accident, thinking that it would make her look less guilty for her child's death.
So when you got back home with James, you come back with the kids. How do you bring James? You just carry James into the house, or does James go out and get him?
I carried him in.
Okay.
So what I don't understand here is why she's coming back with the kids. I thought she was just going to leave them on the side of the road.
Where the clothes at that you were wearing when you carried them in?
Sitting on top of my basket.
Are they dirty?
Yeah.
Right, I got you.
So you carry the boy back inside. Have you already contacted James and told him what happened? Okay, by text or by call?
It was a text.
You sent him a text?
Yes, and then he called me, told me to bring him back because he couldn't get James to listen.
So you bring the kid back, you carry the kid in, and then what happens? Where do you put the kid? Where do you put James?
I just laid him on the when you walk in the door, that room right there, on the floor.
The front, when you walk in the front
living room?
Yes, the front room.
So the living room,
where the
the
couch is, yes.
You laid him
I laid him on the floor.
Okay.
The bare floor. And he took him upstairs.
James took him upstairs.
This is another thing called failure to render aid. How do we know that James was dead when she brought him home? We don't. And they could have brought him to the ER and maybe revived him. Maybe, who knows? But failure to render aid is another aggravating factor. And particular vulnerability of the victim.
And put him in the bedroom.
We're going to give you a few minute break, and then we'll be right back.
Do you need anything? You need another restroom? You need anything?
I wish I had an anxiety med.
Not a single tear on this mother's face yet, which goes to show she doesn't really care about her kid, something you don't see very often at this level. James then tells the detective how he and Brittany got rid of the evidence by dumping little James's body into a river.
Took off about halfway across the bridge, stopped, put it in park. She grabbed his feet, I grabbed his shoulders and threw him.
You guys pull up. You guys see a car and you pull over right before the bridge, or 100 yards before the bridge.
About 100 yards.
Right around there. You wait, you go by. As soon as that happens, you guys pull up and you there's really not much room there.
She jumps out.
Okay.
I didn't even open my driver's door. I just climbed around. She opened the side slider door, grabbed his feet, I grabbed his shoulders. Not that I'm aware of, sir. I mean, as soon as we let him go, I jumped right back in the van.
You know, when you see he's worried about himself. He's not at all worried about this child that lost his life. I mean, this child was a piece of shit. This child didn't listen. You know, the child was a nuisance, and we got rid of the nuisance. But guess what? You also got rid of the rest of your natural flipping life.
When we got going, she looked at me and said, I heard him hit, and kind of giggled about it even.
Right. So, did you see him, did he float? Did you see him floating?
I don't know. I had no idea. She got straight back in the van and we took off.
And again, that's kind of where we are. You're worried entirely too much about what she said. Now listen. I want the whole truth too. That's why you know the whole truth. You're sitting here fishing me to see what I know, and I've been fished by the best of them, and I'm not going to be a about it, but you ain't the best.
James's attempts to outsmart the detective are failing, so he finally comes clean as he realizes there's no way he's getting out of this now.
I've got a lot of info here.
She wanted something to help hold him down in the water. There's a brick tied to his chest.
There's a brick tied to him.
A brick tied to your son's chest, a little boy, as you throw him into the river.
Yes.
What kind of brick?
About this long, about that thick.
Like a cinder block brick, or like what kind of brick?
Something like a cinder block brick. It's more like a yard walking stone brick. I mean, it's about this long, like I was saying.
Right. Where'd you get the brick? You go out of the.
And the thing is, even if you did that, it wouldn't be long before the kid surfaced again anyway.
Back of your yard, and you go to the right down the alley or to the left down the alley?
To the right.
So you went to the right. Did you go to the cross alley or did you go on? So you go to the cross alley and you make a left. So you see, this is how this works. I know a load of information about this. A lot of it's been confirmed, and I've ruled out some of it. Well, some of it that you told us initially. Now, with that being said, I'm not holding that against you, because you're a little bit freaked out. But here's where we are. Right now is going to be one of your only opportunities to genuinely show me that you're going to cooperate. This is good.
This is your only opportunity. What does it matter if he cooperates, honestly? You know, cops say that all the time. Hey, look, you know, this is your only opportunity to really help yourself. By what? Digging your own grave?
This is good, because I knew all this.
The detectives have enough information from James to charge him, and seeing James stick to his final story of him not knowing what Brittany was going to do after she took the kids, they decide it's finally time to talk to Brittany, who will end up revealing the brutal truth.
Okay, I need a shower. Like, you can see I'm breaking out everywhere.
I'll ask him. I'll go back there and talk to him as soon as I drop you back off. I got a question for you, though. Are you willing to talk to me about what happened?
Yeah.
First off, I need to know why you guys are down in Richmond, Indiana, at Walmart.
I didn't go to any Walmart.
You did not go to any Walmart?
No, that's why I'm looking at you like, what are you talking about?
Did he take the kids and go to Walmart?
He might have. I don't know.
Okay.
I've not
seen the video yet.
Stuff when I'm sleeping. So how am I supposed to know anything?
Well, I mean, you're not sleeping 24/7.
My meds would let me. I'd be sleeping 24/7.
Is he really where you said you dumped him?
My son?
Yes.
Yes. That's where he dumped him.
Okay, but you were with him.
Yes,
okay.
That is where.
That is where you guys went to do.
Yes,
that's legit.
And yes, he said to make sure we dumped him on that side because of the currency or something goes this way. I don't know nothing about the water.
So it doesn't matter.
Even though it was an accidental.
I think it was, but you went there to dispose of your kid, to leave your kids out there is what you want to do. Huh?
I went to go there to drop them off, not to harm them or anything.
Okay, but you're still banning you.
To drop them off, not to harm them. Don't you think abandoning your children is harming them?
Your children.
Brittany's description of events is chilling. The way she describes the accidental death of her son without showing any emotion or tears tells us the kind of creep she is.
So let's talk about that. So all she wanted to do was drop them off, and then he died. Well, dropping them off would probably be abandoning your children, which is felony child neglect. Any kind of felony that results in the death of a person is called felony murder, and that's what she's on the hook for. So him grabbing onto the door, her dragging him along, whether she ran him over or not, she's not intending to cause his death, but she certainly is intending to cause neglect and abandonment of the child. That's a felony. And then him dying as a result of that, that's felony murder.
Seeing this, the detective gives Brittany a final chance to come clean. Realizing she's going to be in more trouble than she thought she'd be in, Brittany changes her story as a last effort to pin the crime on James.
He wasn't responding when he got out of the van.
Where at?
Remember when I told you when we got there, he wasn't.
When you got
he was already dead before you got there. Yes or no?
Yeah, he had to because he wasn't.
Okay, then how did he die?
Whatever James did to him upstairs.
Okay, you need to tell me that. What did James do?
The kid, all three
kids. You can ask all three of them.
Because I know he hog-tied them.
Yeah,
okay.
And he was beating them.
Why didn't you call us?
He wouldn't let me have a food.
Okay, so he's dead before you even take him out of the house. Is that correct?
Yeah, I didn't know it.
Who loaded him up in the car? So he didn't walk to the car.
The kids, like, basically helped him to the car.
Helped who?
The kids helped their dead brother to the car.
Helped who?
The other two kids helped James to the car.
Your two other kids carried dead James to the car.
He, like...
Okay, you're lying.
No, am I not making this sense?
No, not at all.
Can you please stop yelling at me?
You're going to sit here and tell me and tell us that your two other babies carried youngest one to the car.
So then you really didn't drag James.
No, that's why I keep trying to tell y'all. I didn't do anything to that little boy.
You did? Yeah, you did. You didn't help him, number one. Okay? You're a grown-ass adult. That's a little baby.
Yeah.
How many times, what are they going to say about you hitting on him?
No, I'm not really hitting on them at all. I make them stand in the
What are they going to say about you hitting on them that night with James upstairs?
They're probably just going to say I whipped their butt. That's about it. Like you said you do your children.
Right.
But I don't punch them, leave bruises, nothing. That's all James.
After hours of interrogation, Brittany is crying for the first time ever, describing her son's death so casually, calling him little boy instead of my son, and changing stories every minute has led detectives to confirm that this is indeed a cold-hearted killer, and they've had enough of her lies.
I'm about to lose my temper, and I'm trying not to.
You know, when you are dealing with children, and I'm sure these cops, they see their own children, you know, in the cases that they handle. You know, my father was a fireman, and he said the one thing he never got used to was pulling kids out of a burning building. Watching somebody have 3 or 4 children and to kill one of them because they're just not listening.
Do you want to talk to me or no?
At this point, it almost doesn't matter because she's told so many different stories. You can't believe a thing she's saying.
You probably don't because you're not going to tell me the truth. You've sat back there in that jail and you've tried to come up with some excuse for the... Hold on, let me move over here. I'm too close to you. Because you've sat back there in that... Just listen, okay? You've sat back there in that jail and you've tried to come up with some reason to justify you not getting charged with murder. Here's where we are, okay? You took them out there hoping no one would ever see them, find them, or you would never see them or hear from them again. Is that a safe assumption?
Brittany was finally sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 21 years. James, on the other hand, was sentenced to 19 years in prison for playing his part in the murder of 6-year-old James.
You know, I want to put a shout out to good parents out there everywhere because they're all out there. And I can't imagine any of our subscribers or people watching our channel would be involved in anything remotely close to this stuff. But you might know somebody who is. Get them help before they do something stupid. You know, I mean, look at these people ended their own lives. 21 to life and 19 years. For what? Because they couldn't handle a kid that didn't listen. hog-tied him and beat him, or died on the side of the road. We don't know which, because it's all bullshit. All I got to tell you is, I hate these kinds of cases, but they're interesting vignettes on abuse and the mindset behind the people who are behind the abuse. Whether it's domestic abuse, if you are so mad at your spouse that you have to put hands on, walk away. Walk away. Figure out something else. Go for a run. Get the aggression out. And then sit down and work things out. Don't call each other names. Don't put your hands on your children. Don't put your hands on your wife. Deal with the issues that you're dealing with in a way that promotes love and respect. So one of the reasons we do this channel is because, we like to have an impact, right? And so somebody by the name of Remy put a comment on our channel. And let me just read this to you real quick. Hi, Bruce Rivers. I've been watching your YouTube from the beginning and love your content. A couple of months back, you asked your audience what they learned from you. I realized that in addition to expanding my legal knowledge, you've also taught me how a father should speak to their child. My father was extremely abusive growing up and took every opportunity to belittle me, and my mother normalized this behavior. I never had any positive male figures in my life, but I smile every time I hear the way you talk about your content genius, Michael. Your love for him is so palpable that it has really helped me put things into perspective as I'm learning to navigate the world through a different lens. I'm a social worker now, with my father, which my father mocked me for, but I find myself hearing your words in my head about how beautiful it is to help people. I just wanted to thank you for that. I'm so grateful that you have found your channel, wishing you and Michael the very best. You absolutely deserve it. That's why we do what we do. And love the people that you're with. Treat them with respect. And subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Sign up for Patreon. And we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer. And I'm coming to you with my pearl-handled pistol cufflinks, so graciously gifted to me by our content genius, Michael Rivers, who is the puppet master, my boss, the creator of this channel and this community, really. I mean, I love the responses we get. You guys are just the absolute best, and we try to do this for you so you could get some handle on, real world about what's going on in the Melly trial and other things. So, and also, tell us what you want to react to. I get a lot of stuff on Instagram. Keep sending because we like to know what you want to see. All right. Today we're reacting to a couple little developments in the Melly tribe. But before we get to that, guess what? Grandma and Grandpa have broken out of the home that they were in. And they broke in, and now they're back at my place. It's hard to say where they're going to go, but I still have power of attorney. And if you remember, I was able to get that power of attorney by doing eSign.com. And eSign.com is a very effective way to remotely do business, and I do it all the time, especially when I'm getting power of attorney for Grandma and Grandpa. But they're calmed down a little bit. They're not doing the meth like they were. Got them into a little bit of a treatment program. And now they are they're just doing their OnlyFans page. Elderly feet. And I use eSign in my own practice when I need to have somebody sign a retainer or something like that where they can't go to the office. So eSign.com, a very effective way to remotely do business. You download the app, you get 3 free signatures a month. If it's not eSign, no one signs. All right, so we found out that Melly's not going to testify. What happens when, you have the absolute right to testify in your own trial? But if you choose not to, nobody can comment on that decision. But before you make that decision, you have to declare to the judge what your choice is. And I'm telling you, this is a smart decision because I don't think there's anything Melly could say that anybody will believe. So here's this little colloquy with the judge.
Along with the defendant, and I guess Mr. Demmons, I need to talk to you, ask you a few questions, all right? You heard what your attorney said. He said he's resting. No further witnesses. Do you hear that? Yes, sir. All right, now.
Well, here's the deal. You have the right to testify. You don't have to. But if you choose not to, nobody can comment on that decision. And I always have the judge give the instruction because, you know, everybody wants to hear from the defendant, but you can't hold his silence against him. So this is the judge just going through his rights about being able to testify or not.
I don't know what discussion you had with your attorneys. You got competent lawyers there. I mean, you've seen them perform here. You've discussed things with them, I assume, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that you have a right to testify, and you also have a right not to testify. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand that if you do testify, I'm going to instruct the jury that they have to consider your testimony as they would any other witness. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And if you don't testify, I'm going to instruct the jury that you have a right not to testify, and they can't consider that, hold that against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
So my question, I guess, is did you have enough time to talk about this issue about you testifying or not testifying? Did you have enough time to discuss that with your attorneys?
Yes, sir.
Did they answer all your questions?
Yes, sir.
And what is your decision?
I will not be testifying.
You will not be testifying?
No, sir.
Is anyone forcing you or coercing you to make this decision?
No, sir.
Anybody make any promises or on the contrary, make any threats to get you not to testify?
No, sir.
So here's the thing. So it doesn't sound like they put on that many witnesses. In order to, you know, in my last trial, I talked to the foreperson of the jury, and he told me once the state was done with their case, your case was won. And, you know, because you can win a case through cross-examination, or you can just say they didn't prove it. And so it's to put on a case. Sometimes it can hurt you, especially if you put the defendant on the stand and they don't do well. In Melly's case, I'm telling you, there's just no good could have come from him testifying. And so the decision to put on extra witnesses or to just rest, you have to decide where we at in the trial.
This is your free and voluntary decision?
Yes, sir.
So let me go further. You heard your attorney said he rests, he's not going to call any other witness. That includes you, but no other witnesses. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Is there any other witnesses that you wanted your attorneys to call and present to the jury?
No, sir.
Any other evidence that you wanted your attorneys to present to this jury?
See, now this is about basically CYA, you know, when it comes time to appeal. Because, you know, you were fully informed, and you said you were fully informed, and there weren't any other witnesses that you wanted called. And, you know, this is all to protect the record.
No, sir.
You good? You satisfied with their performance?
Yes, sir.
All right. And everything that you wanted the jury to hear and listen to is before the jury. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Let me ask, State, are you going to call any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
So
the evidence is all in. You heard him say, you know, go through all of his rights. You heard him say about the witnesses. You heard him the judge ask the prosecutor whether they have any other witnesses for rebuttal, which they don't. So that means all the evidence is in. So now what the judge is going to do is he'll instruct the jury as to the law of the case. So the jury gets a whole bunch of instructions, probably about 18, 20 pages, maybe even more. And so he will read every word of those instructions to the jury. Then the jury goes back and deliberates. They get sworn, the deputy gets sworn in to protect the jury and their verdict, to make sure that nobody has access to them. And then they go deliberate. And there's no rule about how long they have to deliberate. I would guess that this is going to be a fairly lengthy deliberation. The reason I say that is because there's a lot of evidence to get through. You know, you're going to look at remember all those dowels going through the car. You're going to have a lot of testimony, a lot of exhibits, and all those exhibits go back to the jury. Now, I'm not sure how they do any video testimony, because if you remember, Bortland, his statement, his video was recorded, and so if they want to watch that again, they have to go back into open court, and then they watch the entire thing, and then they go back and deliberate. And they can't deliberate while they're watching it. So, and here's the other thing. The jury is going to be sequestered. Now, what I am so against that in most cases because it treats jurors like prisoners. However, this is a gang-related homicide where there's the death penalty is on the table. And anybody that's related to them who could try to get access to them, outside the presence of the courthouse or their hotel or whatever, I think there's a real danger there. So they need to be protected. Their deliberations need to be protected. And so to that end, I've never asked for a jury to be sequestered. It's not something we normally do here. But they're doing it in this case, and I think it makes sense. So we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer, coming to you with our content genius, Michael Rivers, behind the camera and behind all the content, which is just genius. And so make sure you subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, sign up for Patreon, and we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer